Test 1, 2, 3.
There you go. Now you're better.
Was that me or him?
No, you're good.
Test.
It's not gonna
Wayne. I know. I was trying to think of what to say.
No, we're good.
This is off to a great start.
My name is Travis.
I'm Zach.
I'm Matt.
We're GreenWing, and this is episode 129 of the Sit Down Podcast.
Boom. Just like that, boys. Thank you and for letting us come to you guys here. This place is dope as shit, man.
Thanks for making the drive.
Hell yeah. So we're currently at, what is it called again?
Rainy Day Recording Co.
Rainy Day Recording Co. in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan with these fine gentlemen who we were listening to on the drive here.
Yeah.
How the heck? So Mark didn't really fill me in on how you guys got in touch with each other. So
Give me that. I did, but you were not listening.
I was listening, but it's not my story to tell.
That's right. So you reached out to me.
Yes.
There you go.
All right.
That was it. It was an email.
Yeah, but that was for. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was because you reached out because you had a new release out.
Yeah. It was a press release for Social Cues, which was the single we put out a month ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is a great song, by the way. That's what we were listening to on the drive in. I like it, man. I like it a lot.
Spit in my mouth. Tell me I'm pretty.
Thank you.
Come closer.
Don't tempt me, dude, because I'll do it. I'll freaking do it, man. No, it was definitely great, and we were trying to that's the listeners know that Mark and I, we don't really do much prep. Our prep is we listen to the music like the day of. That's pretty much it. So us coming in here, we only really know you from that one track that you guys have out there. So that being said, for those of you out there, there's currently only one song out there that you can listen to. We'll have the link on this video here, so check that out. But tell us.
But is there not something?
Yeah. We do have more music coming out soon. We will have an album out in the fall. Dates are going to be announced pretty soon on that. And we do got some live video footage coming out this week.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
I'm saying this week because it's technically next week, but this is coming out on Monday.
That's right.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow there's going to be a video out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, of live footage. And where's the live footage from?
So we teamed up with Saul Chabot and Millimedia. So I guess you guys did a podcast with him.
Hell yeah, shout out to Saul. Love you,
great.
buddy.
But we shot a couple tracks live off the floor actually here with the band. So performance videos. The video that's going to be coming out tomorrow in Digital Land is the live performance of Social Cues.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Right on.
Kind of just another opportunity to sell people on the single.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So, okay, I kind of want an origin story of you guys, and I'm sure the listeners do too. So can you guys tell us a little bit about how you guys got connected and from when you guys started together to today, to where we are here?
Well, Matt and I played in a band called the Night Jays, and that's how Matt and I first met. And then started doing some session stuff together after that. And then Matt and Travis have known each other for a while. So it was throughout the pandemic, and we were all bored looking for stuff to do. And kind of figured, let's start a band, and started jamming, putting some songs together.
And when was this?
This was
The very end of 2021.
It was about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I think.
That.
Yeah, it was 6 months before our first show, which will be a year in September.
Yeah, Zach's making it sound a lot more organized than it was. It kind of it kind of was like me being so I wrote songs and I think they suck, and then Travis being write more songs, Matt. And then it became Travis being let me play bass for you, Matt. And then it very quickly became me being oh yeah, this is much better with other people helping me.
And then it was are we a band now?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it came together so easy and so quick. and we knew we were a band before we even had a band name. I think we booked our first show before we had a band name.
We booked our show before a band name, and then we frantically had a coffee meeting where we went through, like, I shit you not, like a list of probably 40 names that Zach had jotted down in his phone over the last 6 months, because like we had to announce the show that Friday.
Let's be honest though, only like probably 10 of them were actual serious band names.
Like there were some pretty funny ones.
Like Softcore Ski Resort was one of them, and then one that we're actually gonna stick with was Satanic Quilting Club.
Oh, interesting.
I liked the ones that was named after Matt. We had Stin City 2.
Oh, I hate that.
His last name's Stin.
Yeah. Travis tried to get us on board with Tiny Lion Tamers.
Tiny Lion Tamers is still
name.
a great name.
It's a fun name.
Okay, so then tell us how you settled on GreenWing. Where
Zach
does that come from?
Fucking tricked us.
No,
Zach fucking tricked us.
You guys have Google. You could have Googled it.
We sat down for this frantic coffee and went through all the old lists, and we just like found GreenWing and decided we liked it, and then later found out it was Zach's favorite kind of parrot.
I really like parrots.
Zach's a bird guy,
So GreenWing's a type of parrot.
It's a type of macaw.
Interesting, a macaw. There's a name right there, a band
Green
name,
Cup
macaw. No, that's freaking deadly. So where was this show? Like, where was the gig that you had booked prior to having the name?
We were the first show back at Amigos when they started doing shows again.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
that was
yeah.
on September 4th of last year.
Freaking rights. And how was that show?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So that's the first time you guys play a live set in front of a crowd ever.
We were pleasantly surprised.
Right?
Yeah.
With yourselves or with the provider, right?
With
the crowd.
both, it was received really well, and I felt like we were just natural on stage with each other.
Right.
Like, it felt right.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel like the three of us had enough time to like kind of bake things in, and we knew each other enough outside of the musical aspect of things prior to that show that like it just something clicked really well, and then people just really got on board with what we were doing and like really embraced it in a way that I haven't had happen for other musical projects I've been a part of. And I think it was a mixture of like us being really excited and then also just people giving a shit that like really set it off.
Honestly, us just being completely ourselves but amplified on stage too. Like, we're pretty high energy and we just go crazy, and Zach just like holds it down, and that's kind of just our dynamic in life too. And it worked pretty well.
Yeah. No, Zach is definitely like the most dependable person
figure,
on
right?
stage for sure.
Yeah. What do you mean? Saying I hold it down or what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Totally hold it
I totally do.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm curious.
I got a question. Right. So you have one single out now.
Yeah.
What did you play in September? Covers?
Nah. So that's we had one cover. So pretty much we frantically wrote as much music as we could and then realized we didn't have enough music to headline a show. And then at the same time, we're like, oh shit, we're a brand new band. We shouldn't headline a show. So instead we put another band headlining and we played, quite honestly, the bare minimum we could for what would be considered a set because we didn't want to play anything that wasn't good.
We played 7 originals for our first show.
Yeah. Like we did put together like a legitimate set of stuff that like we're proud of.
Because we had that, like we had 6 months in the pandemic to just jam and write, and we didn't have anything else to do, so we had nothing but time.
Yeah, when your workload is cut in half and you have no other creative projects you're a part of in the middle of like some weird global event, it's pretty easy to just shit out a bunch of music.
And like the emotions are coming up already too. It's it's already on the surface.
Exactly, right? There's lots to write about in that 2-year time frame, right?
Well, and on the flip side of that too, like all the musical projects I had been a part of for the previous like kind of 3 to 4 years of that, I always sort of served a like co-writer / editing role in where I was never really the one creating any of the lyrical content or anything. I was the one like editing it down and like helping kind of produce it, and then lots of times like I sort of acted as like the hook police in terms of like making sure things were like catchy and like trimming the fat where they need to be and stuff like that. But I wasn't actually putting a lot of my own stuff outside of like musical ideas into it. So the other thing is like there was just like a stockpile of like, quite frankly, like I was kind of in a shitty mood and ready to talk about it.
Yeah, right. So okay, so I don't think you said this already. You might have told us off camera, but what instruments are you guys playing in the band?
I play drums and sing backup vocals.
I play bass and do backup vocals as
Right.
well.
I play
Gotcha.
guitar and I yell in tune.
And yell in tune. I like that.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Right. So when you guys are recording, then are you doing like all the production side of it?
Yeah.
Matt?
Yeah, we produced this first record completely ourselves. Part of it was kind of a utilitarian choice. Like, I work full time in a studio when I'm not playing music. Why would we pay somebody for $10,000 to $15,000 worth of work that I can do?
Yeah.
And then the flip side of that too is like we're also all kind of little control freaky perfectionists,
Right.
and we've all done enough commercial projects with other people and for other people as clients that we felt pretty confident that we could kind of take this on ourselves and do a good job of it.
Yeah, man.
And it ended up being a little bit of a mixed bag in the sense that like we definitely put out a record that I think is great and I'm really happy with the final product. But then also we took 3 months longer than we thought we were going to finish it because as is the nature of working on anything that's your own, you find literally every other thing to do besides finish it.
Also, we spent an hour talking about whether we should have something 74 BPM or 75 BPM.
Oh no, it wasn't even 75. It was 74.
No, we settled on the half, but it was
we
between
were
one.
debating a 1 BPM difference on the track, and you know what? I'm willing to die on that hill. That half was the right move.
And then on top of that too, we all got COVID at some point during the vocal tracking
Not me.
process.
Which,
Oh, you
like,
didn't, right?
no,
That's
you know what,
right.
knock on wood, because like even my partner Marley got COVID, and I still haven't. So I'm convinced I either just had COVID and was in such deep denial that my fever went away, or I just haven't had COVID and like I'm going to get absolutely fucked in the next year.
Huh. So to get back to your perfectionism, is that getting in the way sometimes because you're all perfectionists and you see
I feel like it's different for everybody. Like for me, I have to remind myself that good isn't perfect and perfect isn't good. It's somewhere in between, and it's a mix of both. I sometimes find myself getting stuck on like the minutia and like really losing it and having to like take a step back and like figure out how to convey what I'm trying to convey without absolutely stressing about like every minute detail. But then on the flip side, quite frankly, me having the ability to control a lot of that like also puts me at ease.
right.
I don't know, you guys can probably speak to how that affects you.
Yeah, I think for me, just reminding myself that there's always something you can do and there's always something you can change, and it's never actually done. And just like calling it done at some point is just what reminds me to like that I can't dive too hard into that. If there's something that just like really gets me, I'll bring it up and we'll work it out. And that's what I like about with these guys, is because if there is something that someone doesn't like, it doesn't like no one gets final say over anything.
Yeah.
If I don't like something he's doing on his guitar, I bring it up and then we rework it till all of us are happy. And
That's
once we're at that happy point, that's when we can be like, okay.
Like I
that's
was
what-
definitely the one who mixed the record, but on the flip side, it's like it wasn't Matt's choice on everything either. It's like there was
a lot of
a
talks.
very good amount of back and forth.
Yeah.
and
that's,
like
I guess that's
a
the
few
nice
compromises.
Yeah.
that's the nice thing about being a three-piece. You always have majority.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too though is I don't think we've ever come to a choice where it was 2-on-1 and we said, okay, majority rules. Like I think unless we are all in legitimate agreement about something, like we talk about it.
Yeah, we will spend an obscene amount of time on just reworking the idea. If one person doesn't like it, we won't stop until everyone's happy.
Right. So spending an hour on a half
Yeah.
beat.
Also, what's kind of
They have
neat
to.
too is like if you guys come to an agreement for the recording of it and then you release that song and stuff, the other ideas that you guys may or may not be unsure of, you can always kind of test that stuff out on stage.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, remember we were talking about doing this? Like, let's try that out tonight and see what happens there. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of freaking awesome too. It's never, like you said, it's never actually done. Right?
Told you.
Yeah, exactly, right? And
There's
go
been
re-record
a
this.
couple haha gotcha moments where like I'm definitely the like the overly confident, pig-headed, like, oh yeah, no, I know this, I'm right type person. And Travis and Zach specifically are not just great at keeping score, but also great at just like kind of taking a deep breath and being like, oh, he'll see. Right.
Yeah, we aren't afraid to call you out on some shit every now and again.
No, you need friends who are willing to tell you when you got your head up your ass.
Right. For sure. I'm curious the difference in that 0.5 beat per minute. Can you just like
It's
you
the
give me,
world.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it. I want to know like what's the actual difference.
Just tapping, it's barely noticeable, but it just had a slightly different feel, like in that one instance. I don't even remember which song it was.
Pixies, I think.
I think it was
it
Pixies.
made it. So the biggest difference it made, the best way I can sum it up is like on one of them, the vocals specifically felt like there was like tension in it, where like the vocal performance didn't feel natural. And then by changing it by that half BPM, all of a sudden the vocals were like, "Yep, that's it, cool, done."
Yeah, just
Honestly, I think we're all just full of shit and complete placebo effect.
Like,
just in our heads about it. Yeah.
I'm willing to settle on that as well, but I prefer the narrative where like
It's everything.
we're
In the
super
moment,
thought
it
out
felt
artists.
important. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so then to hear both sides of it at the 2 different beats per minute, do you guys have to like play it at that speed, or is that something that you can just do like as you're editing it and in the program?
So
You know
this
what I
was
mean?
like early on in the recording process when
Yeah.
we were figuring out like sort of
Like while we're doing drums.
yeah, we're doing drums, so it was when we were sorting out like scratch tracks and like that type of thing. So it was definitely a case of like we just recorded very quick, sloppy versions of both of them, and we just toggled back and forth and argued our points repeatedly until we were all on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like imagine that like like have you ever seen the movie 12 Angry Men? It's like that.
Not.
Okay, it's like yeah, it's like the classic jury movie with the switchblade and stuff. Yeah, it was like honestly like we treat it like that. Like it's not majority rules. It's like we will talk in circles till we are all on the same page.
Nice.
Which is funny because then, you know, we start expecting things to take longer, and then Travis shows up with color swatches for doing our next run of merch or something, and we both point at the same pink and go, "Yep, that." And then we're like, "Cool. What do we do with the next hour that we had booked?"
We planned for an hour for a conversation about color, and it took 5 minutes.
But also, there's been many hour-long 5-minute conversations.
Yeah, Mark keeps looking at me because there's some similarities there. I'm pretty bullheaded too, so when I got something stuck in my head, it's hard for me to hear no.
It is a curse being right all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It truly is.
Yeah.
I'm definitely. I will add that I am a very open-minded person, but like I need time to process it.
Same.
Right. So, right. Like I'll
That's- yeah.
listen to what you're saying, but for right now, I'm still right. But you know, give me a day or two, and maybe I'm
Let me go home and think about this in the shower.
Yeah. You guys and you guys.
more similar. Yeah, definitely always right. Okay, so did you say like how long you guys were in this studio for?
I personally have been working here for just over 5 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I built this place in 2016, end of 2016. I might be making that number up, somewhere in that range.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So you must have a lot of artists that are coming in and out of here quite frequently, hey?
Yeah, I like to keep a busy schedule.
Right on.
Yeah,
Right on.
it's great when it's great, and when it's not, I usually just remind myself that it's still the best job I've ever had,
Yeah,
by any stretch.
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Is there I don't want you to name drop, but I kind of want you to name drop some artists and see if there was anybody that maybe you worked with that we might know.
I did a new EP for Saul Chabot that he needs to put out. I was looking for the camera to make aggressive eye contact and couldn't find it. Saul, put your damn EP out. It's great. But yeah, we wrapped that up this year. Masters just went out like this month, so now he has to put it out. It's very, very good. He hired some really great players on it, really great writing. Yeah, I don't know.
Right on.
Any drummers from the PA area?
Any drummers from the PA area? No, but you
Are you thinking
know,
of Colton?
Colton Kimberly.
Oh, Andrew Dinah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did some work with Andrew Dinah. He, I can't tell you what gig he got, but he got a cool gig in Toronto that he's moving there for, based on us doing some audition work and whatnot, in the studio here. And the band that hired him they're good. They're cool.
Yeah. Do you remember the name of that band? Because he told me, and
I
forget.
do. I just can't tell you.
Well, you can tell me, and I'll snip. That's what it is.
Yeah,
There you
we
go.
just can't spoil their
For
announcement.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
No, I definitely know he's moving out there end of August.
I'm gonna say I love that band.
That's fair. Think like they make me think of like Crisis era Alexis on Fire.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, like definitely like the like late era post hardcore type thing, but like they're doing it well.
Nice.
Have you heard about our new radio station? It's called Funky Moose Radio, where we play alternative and indie rock, sprinkle in some blues and Americana. We feature the music from our guests on this podcast at least once per hour. These songs can be in any genre. We're working on getting the station on every mobile app available, but the easiest way to listen is at funkymooseradio.ca. You should also become a VIP because we'll be giving away some prizes. Again, check it out at funkymooseradio.ca.
Right on. So that show at Amigos, have you guys been able to like do anything live since then?
Oh yeah, no, we've been like kind of the way we've been approaching things has been me and Travis just aggressively leveraging any relationship or past clout with other venues we've ever had to book kind of some initial tour dates while we had no music released.
Right.
Because really what we were trying to do is just like get all of the cities within 1 day driving distance from Saskatoon, hit them up a few times and sort of start to build a little bit of a base so that when we're putting music out, we're actually releasing it to an audience and it's not just a booking tool, but it's something that's actually going to people now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
For
kind of take like a weekend tour approach where we try and hit one weekend run a month. That way you can work during the weeks and the rest of the month you don't have to take any time off. But then within every city within 8 hours driving distance, you can hit every 3 months.
Right.
When you do that,
Yeah.
and it actually doesn't cost that much money either because you're working the entire month and only leaving like a Thursday to a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just like a really cool way to just get out there lots and meet lots of people and re-meet lots of people and make friendships. So that way, when you do a bigger release, you can go off and do like a 10-day tour, and all those people will come out.
Yeah, man.
And I guess like
that.
moreover than those cities you've been hitting, you can use as like I guess like a financial springboard to, you know, the farther places like say Vancouver, or if you're heading east, you got Winnipeg as a springboard.
Yeah.
Just places you know that you've established a bit of a following, and you can like quite frankly pay your bills that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Where's the farthest you guys have been able to reach out to like go play?
Live playing, pretty much just
Probably
like
Red Deer, right?
Red Deer.
Is that the furthest?
I'm not too sure.
west? I think so.
Yeah, we did Edmonton and Red Deer we did on our last run. An interesting show in Lloyd.
Yeah.
to the other bands and two people at the back end of a pool hall.
Interesting.
It was as terrible as you would expect. But if you've ever seen the classic, have you seen that video of like the kid putting on the hardcore show in Denny's?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you after, and
Denny's?
you should insert it right here.
Okay.
But it's like this poor waitress. It's zoomed in on her, and it zooms back out, and it's like the back hall of a Denny's, and it's just this like teenage hardcore band somewhere in the southern states, and you just hear this kid go, "What the fuck is up, Denny's?"
And then they all throw
And
down.
like, I can't stress this enough. Like all the regular like overhead lights are on, and there's like the scene kids in their like cut off shorts, just like headbanging with their rolled brims, and it's like it's great. I love it.
I want
Um,
to do the
how that
pan
show
over.
was.
It's no, that show was infinitely cooler than our show in Lloyd. Let
Oh,
me tell
yeah,
you.
yeah, definitely.
No, if so, we made the joke when we got there that like, oh, this is gonna be like a Denny's, you know?
Right.
And
We wished it
no,
was a
we
Denny's.
wished it was a Denny's.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
no, without like really getting too far into it, like it's probably the worst show I've ever played.
Oh, me too.
We
me
learned a
too.
lot.
Yeah.
We learned a lot.
I grew as a man.
So, okay, so was it like because there wasn't a crowd there, or the set was just shit, or what specifically?
I think specifically.
Yes, and yes. Okay,
Honestly,
get it.
I think we
get it.
probably had great energy. It was just there wasn't a real PA system, and it just wasn't an organized gig, and it was like the one. It just wasn't put together great.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was the back of a pool hall, and none of the bands are from Lloyd.
You're right.
And it was
Like if you go down the checklist of what makes a good show, it's like they just like kind of
They got
didn't
bands.
read it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's all.
But honestly, I kind of had fun.
Right?
Yeah.
No doubt. And the experience of
Yeah,
doing
it was
too.
it was
right?
it was great. And then the next night we got to play the Rec Room in Edmonton, and it was like the best show I personally think it was the best show we've
I
played
still look
so
back
far.
at the video we played from it,
Yeah.
and like Zach kind of terrified me.
His
Oh.
energy was unreal.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I was having a great time.
Yeah, you
It
almost
was
like
good.
threw a kid at me. It was a thing. But yeah, so I don't know. We've kind of been doing some weekend runs like that. Like next week, or I guess when this video comes out, last weekend, we'll be going to or had gone to. What are we doing? We're doing Calgary, Lethbridge,
and Red Deer.
Red Deer. Yeah, those are the cities. We're doing those.
Hopefully, it's a good or it was a good run. I guess.
Yeah. I think it
just
was
say
a
it
great
was,
run. The
eh?
show was
Yeah,
it was
fantastic.
awesome.
No,
Yeah,
it's,
It was so
uh,
good. We had
next
so much
week,
fun.
also known as 2 weeks from next week. We'll call it next week. We're
You're
doing
confusing.
a Regina and a Saskatoon show on August 12th and 13th, respectively.
Hell yeah. Where are you guys playing in Regina?
O'Hanlon's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Scarth.
It's like a cool little Irish pub.
Yeah.
It's not that
Yeah,
It was
little.
a lot of fun.
Saskatoon, we're going to be at Black Cat.
Okay.
Yeah,
We've been
we,
there, haven't we? No. Is that where did we go when we saw Electric Religious?
It used to be Vangelis at one point as well.
Not the basement.
Religious.
What was
Oh,
that?
that probably would have been.
the basement.
Was that the basement? Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I've been. What is it? Black Cat?
Black Cat.
I don't know if I've
Come
been
on
there.
out. We're playing with Slow Down Molasses. We got this like really cool local band.
We know
opening
those
up
guys,
called
don't we?
Valley Bandits.
Were they not on the show?
No.
I'm sure I know those guys.
You could put them on.
Yeah,
the show.
they've been they've been around. I think their first album came out in like 2008, and they just hit like the UK and Germany and stuff too. They just got back not too long ago.
I'm
Hell
pretty
yeah.
sure they just did like probably like I don't think I'm making this up when I say they've done like 4 European tours this year alone. Like,
Nice.
They are a very busy band. But yeah, no, Slow Down Molasses is like they are just extremely high energy, and something we've always kind of put an emphasis on or an effort in this band is like trying to curate each individual show, because playing 25 shows in a row is sweet, but if 15 of them are throwaways and you're playing to 5 people, it sucks.
Right.
You know, you're not gaining something from it, and quite frankly, we're at the level where most of our shows pay for themselves and pay for us to get to the next show, but like we're not raking in huge money or anything, so we need to see equity from it, and what that is like that's fan growth, that's fan interaction, that's us being able to sell merchandise, and the way you do that is you get together a really great lineup so people stay for the whole night and have a good time.
Yeah, and just like the idea that we don't want to leave that, like obviously leaving the show and people be like, yeah, GreenWing was awesome is great, but we want them to leave the show and be like, that show was awesome. We want the first band, the second band, the third band, all of them to be able to like put on a great show, and all of them to like raise the energy after the next.
Yeah.
So they're not leaving being like, that show was okay, but GreenWing was awesome. That whole show was just dope.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
our goal.
And I like that you're approaching it from a business perspective. The band is a business.
I'm just like
kinda have to.
I'm only 30, but like I am just I'm too fucking old to not like do if you know like the rant is happening.
Okay, and
no
go.
man, like
We can cut.
all the power to people who are willing, capable, or wanting to play music solely for fun. I think that's good. I think that's awesome. We made something that we feel really good about. We made something that the people we've shown it to feel really good about it, and we want to keep doing that. And the way we can keep doing that is by building it properly like a business so that we have the finances to grow it.
And don't get us wrong, we have a blast doing it, but like,
It's
we just
fucking
try
fun
to-
first and
yeah,
foremost,
yeah.
but
It's just
there's only so much stuff you can put on a credit card.
Yeah,
it's
and-
just about being choosy and like picking the right moments to create an awesome experience.
Certainly.
Yeah, and I think there are a lot of bands that are having the fun but don't see it as a business, and then they complain like, well, we're always broke.
Well, and
Yeah.
I think there's a healthy balance in between too, where you're a band, like you're doing it because you love it. Because,
Yeah.
quite frankly, if you're doing music for money, you're either extremely lucky, or you have 3 other gigs on the go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
exactly. And that comes back to what we were just talking about. Your bio says this slash this slash
yeah,
this.
the idea of slashies. Like so many people who are like working professionals in the music industry just have 3 or 4 things they do, and
Yep.
that's their gigs. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because you're doing it, you're loving it. But yeah, like very few people pay all of their bills just by performing, and power to the people who do that. But for everybody else, like you gotta find reasons to love it, and you gotta find other things to do adjacent to it that you enjoy as well.
Yep.
Because if all you're doing is working to pay for the next tour, that hurts.
Yeah, that then it becomes a drag, and
You
don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
Yeah, I think the way that you guys are doing it, like the way you're planning your tours and everything like that, I think is the right way to do it. Especially like being so relatively new, right? To plan it out according to your schedule, but not being scared to like get out of province and like plan it so it's not just you're driving to Edmonton for one show and then driving back 8 hours. Like no, like structure it so that it's like a little mini tour.
That's kind of why those
weekend.
weekend runs are everything too. Even on like a social media standpoint and perception standpoint, you always have shows announced, and you always have something to promote, and you always have something to post.
Right.
And that's kind of the best part about it, is because you always have something to show, and that's just a huge perception thing. And I think that's
agree.
done a lot for us personally. It's just
Definitely.
having so many things announced all the time.
Yeah, I totally get it, because after Moose Fest, it's like, what the fuck am I going to post about now? Like, I got to wait 8 months before I can post about Moose Fest again? No, I get it. For sure. I think that's very, very smart.
And Zach is in charge of all your social media, right?
I don't know if you guys would want
Zach
me
is
to
in
Zach
charge
is
of
a
all.
downright social media guru.
Yeah,
I'm
Zach
not-
does everything
I'm
for
not-
us.
I'm not the greatest with social media, but I'm trying and I'm getting better at it.
We've perfected the art though of like, as long as like we just got to make it easy for you. We tag you in everything, so all you have to do is do a reshare, and that's it. You too. I see.
I'm getting better with it. I got some posts lined up. I'm gonna be
got
I'm
some
gonna be
scheduled
making.
posts. I got some content.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of tag team social media. Like everyone shares.
certainly.
Matt does the posting. I do the commenting and like the replying to people.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because
Zach calls me 7 minutes after I've posted something to say, "Dude, that's the wrong your."
Yeah.
I hang my head
The
while I
last
pull
one,
up my
the last
phone.
one was
Yeah.
2. You used the wrong 2.
I did, yeah. And like the thing
I
that
just
makes
edit
that,
it without telling you.
That's fair, yeah. The thing that like irks me more about that when that happens though is like I'm also the type of person where if I read that I instantly get irate.
Do you?
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely the asshole who like will read through somebody's comment thread or something and they'll use the wrong tool. I'll be like, plebeian idiot.
Really?
like,
Not me at all. That doesn't faze me at all, man.
There'll be 3 groups:
Me
the
neither.
people who don't
Right?
notice, the people who notice but don't care, and then the people that it really bothers. And
Dude, you ever see like people post something and they'll be like, PM me? Or like the details.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I would see that and I'd be thinking, "You guys are idiots. It's DM me." And then it got dawned on me like a week ago. Oh, it's private message. Oh, I get it.
I think you unlocked like a new
I thought it was a
dislike for me,
typo the
though.
whole time. I was like,
Yeah.
man, these guys are dumb. It's DM, not PM. Frick. But like, really, what's the difference between a D and a P? Like, or not. That's not what I mean. What I mean is like, is fucking what's the difference between a direct message or private message is what I meant to ask. But yeah, that came out wrong.
Well then.
There's our clip for this podcast. Fuck yeah, dude. Right on. So okay, when are you guys taking off? So what's the first show out of the? Oh, I guess next weekend.
Yeah, so the 4th of August, we're doing Calgary. We're playing Broken City.
Okay.
And we're playing with Even Odds and Jackson Reed and the Silverbirds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds real.
Yeah,
on.
that's that's the show in Calgary, and then the next night we're in Lethbridge, at the Al Acoustic Lounge, and we are playing with Waterfront
Yeah.
and Fawns.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're Red Deer the Saturday night on the 6th.
Hell yeah, guys.
So
Like,
that was this past weekend. What's coming up
Yes,
next weekend?
This past weekend. The weekend coming up, we're in Regina on Friday night at O'Hanlon's with the Definite Lays. Spelt Definite Lees, but like lay on the end.
right.
It's a pun. They were very, very stern about making sure that was like right on the poster, which I respect.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night we're at Black Cat with Slow Down Molasses and Valley Bandits.
Hell yeah, dude. I think we messed up on a poster at the start there too, didn't we? We had to fix the Trader's Gate. The apostrophe was in the
Okay.
wrong
We're
spot.
going back to the typo.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you might have made a typo, but like I know a story about one that you will like never beat in terms of how bad it was. So Death Cab for Cutie has something in their rider that if you bill them wrong on a marquee, you forfeit the total revenue from the show to them with no splits. And it's because on their first national tour, they were billed on a marquee as Death Camp for Cutie.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah. That is just terrible.
That's an interesting rider.
That's so incredibly bad though,
really?
hey?
You think about the rider?
Well, yeah, yeah.
It almost made me think a little bit of my auntie sending out a mass text to the family saying that her daughter had a rectal detachment. She meant retinal. So it's a little bit too personal otherwise, I think, to mass text to the family.
You gotta you wanna be sympathetic, but you're like, I don't think it works like that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Your butt hurts.
So you're working in the studio like 9 to 5 all the time, right?
That's
Like
a generous
7
guess.
a.m. to 3 a.m.
You know what? I've gotten a little better with the hours, but like I'm probably here like in between 7 and 10 hours a day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then so do you guys work in the studio as well, or do you guys have other jobs like for the week?
I do a fair bit of session work here, but I also have a day job as well.
Oh my god.
Just a boring desk job, but I like it. You know,
Nice.
It's good.
He's underselling it. He like is very integral to his company and like does a lot of things that like actually matter, but like are kind of boring to like explain.
Don't quit your day job.
I'm not.
Got them health benefits.
No, I do a lot of like casual jobs, a lot of bartending, a lot of maintenance stuff out of like a ball diamond and
Right.
stuff like
Okay.
that.
Right on. Tell me more about the music that's going to be coming out soon.
We recorded an album. It took a long time. Partially because we drastically underestimated how much we were going to argue about half a BPM. The other reason is because the minute we got ready to actually start getting the vocals done, the band decided to get COVID. But like not at one time, which would have been at least like convenient. No, just like in succession. So like one person was healthy, next person was sick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then by the time everyone was healthy, it's like, oh, we have a tour coming up. We should probably rehearse for that. So
Right.
then we put off finishing it, and it became a bit of a schmozzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're releasing that in fall time, and we'll be announcing dates soon.
Then we'll also be putting out our second single. That'll be coming
End of August.
End of August.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
That was
Nice.
a nice non-committal answer from us. We do have a date picked. We're just kind of trying to keep it.
Do you
close to
think
the
that-
chest.
Serious.
Do you think that we'd be able to drop a little teaser maybe for the listeners of that single in here right now? Would you guys be all right with
You
that?
want to do that?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I'd be-
Give people
absolutely.
like a. We can
Heck
send
yeah.
you like a
Yeah.
30-second clip of it.
Hell yeah. If
Yeah.
you're down.
50,
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
we'll
let's
give
do
you
it.
15, a hot 15.
A hot 15. All
Hot
right, here's
15.
15
15 and a
seconds
half.
of
15 and a half
can you, is there a title of the song?
15 and a half seconds.
It's called
15 and a half seconds. I
called
like it.
Late Bloomer.
Here's 15 and a half seconds of Late Bloomer coming out at the
We've
end of
committed.
August. Right on. That was so awesome.
Oh
No,
my
heck
god,
yeah.
that song changed my life. I feel
When-
okay now.
Right. When no, great job you guys. When you're recording the album, do you guys put a lot of thought into like placement of which track going into the album? Like is it a full album or is it just like
it's
an
an
EP?
8-song album.
8 songs?
Yeah.
And then so is like I asked, is there thought into like what song goes where?
After the album was recorded, we kind of put that thought into it.
Yeah.
Everything just really kind of created naturally, and then there was just an obvious kind of order to put it in.
Right.
Yeah.
Is kind of what we felt.
Yeah.
I don't think we really had any disputes over
No,
over the.
No, it was like probably I think it was a 15-minute chat on our way to our last Regina show. We just like
Again,
yeah,
one
figured
of
it
those
out.
like we thought it was going to be like hours and it wasn't.
Yeah, so it's not like the album tells a story they're
No,
separate
no,
songs,
they're,
but
they're all very different themes that kind of center around like a couple main things.
Right.
But we really tried to just make sure like the energy really came down. And
Yeah,
went back up.
we definitely wanted the album to flow, because the other thing is like there's definitely been a big resurgence of like vinyl as an industry, and I think with that it's not forced, but encouraged people to like actually start consuming full albums again and listening to them as full albums. And I think it's important to like offer somebody like not just good music, but good music arranged in a format and a style that like they can put it on and experience it as a front to back piece that isn't jarring.
Yeah, it's just like honestly, if you like our shows, where we try and make an experience front to back.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
want
it's a
we
set
want the
list for
album.
sure.
We want the album to pull you through the whole way and not have a lull.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So,
go ahead.
does that mean vinyl is coming?
It means that vinyl takes in between 6 and 9 months because no major record label has rebuilt a pressing plant since the 70s. They should, because it would cost them nothing in comparison to what they make.
Yep.
But yeah, vinyl will be coming. We're kind of in the stages right now of getting it ordered and sorted.
Which
now
pressing
that-
plant?
We were gonna go with Precision Disc.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple options in Canada just based on the people that I know who have done pressing lately. They've been the most reliable both in terms of timelines and communication.
Right.
Yep.
And quite frankly, as a small band, that's got to be the preferences, right?
Yeah, we know. We went through Precision as well for the Northern Royals record.
Right.
But I know there are other pressing plants. Calgary, Vancouver.
Yeah,
there's
none in Saskatchewan.
There's Canada
No.
Boy, or is it Canadian Boy, Canada Boy? Is that the one I'm thinking of in Calgary?
no. Well, it's the same location.
Okay.
But Canada Boy went out of business, and then somebody bought the.
I understand. Oh,
and
is
now
that,
it's-
yeah, and then there's someone on the West Coast called Clampdown, I believe. right?
Clampdown, yep.
Yeah.
And then there's Kaneshi in PEI,
Yeah.
and then there is Microforum in Toronto.
PEI has really high taxes though.
Yes.
And they hit you with the PST even though they're shipping out of province.
Yeah.
Which like they're one of the only provinces that does that too.
And shipping from PEI is stupid expensive.
It's the big bridge. You got to pay for it.
Although I think the PSTs are right off because only the final consumer ends up paying. The
So,
PST.
anyways, Zach does finances at work.
Smart.
Yeah.
He's not just pretty.
Yeah. Oh man, I was looking into I went on like a freaking spiral for like a week. I was like, dude, I had this big idea of like we should just press records ourselves, right? So then I was
Yeah.
looking at
From Bellevue.
from Bellevue, like
Well,
we
just
had-
like
we'll just
what
get a
is it? Like
pressing
$600,000
a mill
for
and we'll just
the
do it
infrastructure.
ourselves. Dude, just for startup and equipment and everything, it was just to start. It was going to cost us like $800,000
Well,
just to get going with two machines pressing. And I
Devil-
was this close to doing
devil's
it. I was
devil's
this close
advocate
to
here.
doing it.
Devil's advocate. If you just answer your damn emails and actually deliver things on time, you're beating 3 of the major companies in Canada.
Right? Like
That's
that's just
You just
it.
got to answer your emails when people have already given you thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Also cheap shipping for us. So
Well, yeah.
Please
shit,
get
man,
$800,000
If I
in
ever
debt.
do that, and I would be honored to press your record, and I will hand deliver them to you, man. But
Right.
that might be quite some time before that's gonna happen. I'll just be honest about it. Yeah. But yeah, I
What's
definitely went on
800K
a
between
spiral
friends?
looking into that kind of stuff.
Jeez.
Freaking right.
super cool.
Now, when you're producing the album too, like you have to like do that differently for vinyl, right? There's a different way to master it. If
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna press.
do. You do need to take that into consideration, mainly because of you're looking at like peak RMS issues. You're looking at like specifically keeping your low end in mono
Right.
below 80 hertz, things like that.
Yeah, because it'll like jump the needle, won't
It
it?
can. It
Right?
can. You hear a lot of horror stories, and quite frankly, it came from a time when things were not policed as much in terms of, a record plant gives you a bad product because you sent them something that wasn't going to work well,
Right.
and they pressed it as, you asked them to. They didn't correct you. They didn't tell you there was an issue because, quite frankly, there wasn't the accountability that the internet allows for.
Yeah. There's
Accountability is a nice way to phrase it, but
there's also the Metallica Black album Not the most recent pressing, but the pressing before that. If you have a cheap turntable that's not weighed properly, it'll skip.
It's just gonna bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that about was it the original pressing of Led Zeppelin 3, I think, as well.
Too dynamic. It was
Yeah.
just
It was
jumping.
too dynamic,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
apparently those are like the best sounding
Of course they
pressings
are.
of it.
If
And
you
it-
if
and
you
it's-
have a decent turntable, then yeah.
it's
Yeah.
because the record, I think the label owner, he gave that record to his daughter on her little suitcase record player, and then it was skipping. So he's like, "Oh, this is shit. Let's
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's bring it down."
I have a first pressing of Brothers by the Black Keys, and it's the same deal. Like, I actually change my weight when I'm playing it.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I go as far as being like, whatever, carve this guy up. Like, let's
Yeah,
change it
yeah.
a little bit. Like, I have like a mid-level quitter. I don't know. It's nothing expensive. It's definitely like sub $500 type thing.
yeah.
But it's like, it's decent. It's not a Crosley.
Oh,
But yeah, like that record like definitely skips a lot, and it's only on the B side, and it's like 2 songs specifically.
oh.
But yeah, to answer the question many sentences ago, we did take that into consideration, and we actually had Trevor Case do our mastering, which, if you guys aren't familiar with him, he's the guy in Saskatchewan. If you're gonna pay for mastering services, he's like in my opinion, the best guy you could go to.
In Saskatchewan.
Yes,
Okay.
by a very significant margin.
Honestly, outside of Saskatchewan.
Yeah, like his credits are huge. He ranges from Kelly Clarkson to like, he did like a Azealia Banks track that debuted on American Idol 2 weeks ago. Things like
Nice.
that.
Yeah, we had ours. Well, ours. I say ours, but the Northern Royals EP that we did,
Yeah.
we had mastered at CPS in Edmonton,
Okay. Yep.
and then there's also the Lacquer Channel, in.
And they specify or
Yeah.
specialize rather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another good option is Stu McKillop in Railtown Mastering in Vancouver.
I may have heard that name.
Yeah, he's super worthwhile. He's the front guy for Daggermouth. So if you're like an old school Canadian punk band fan.
I'm not even Canadian, so I'm not.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I'm gonna hand over the mic.
Well, I definitely have no idea who that is.
Yeah, we're just name dropping at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. But no, that's all good stuff. Yeah, so I guess with that,
Is that a set list over there?
Oh no. Perhaps.
It might be.
are those the tracks on the album?
No, those are the tracks we're about to practice after this podcast because we have shows last weekend.
But yeah, the tracks are on.
yeah.
So you
the
actually
album
have a
is on
song called Debt?
It's actually called 10,000 Reasons, but the way it's written on our set list ranges from Debt to
it. Usually Debt Fuck.
Debt Fuck, yeah. So you get like working titles when you're working on stuff,
Yeah.
and like usually they're just like kind of shitty.
Right. Well,
And sometimes you keep them, and sometimes they're what go on your set list, and
walk me through real quick, like your rehearsal process. Do you guys just kind of come in and like sit at your spot and all right, boys, let's fucking jam it out?
Rehearsal, for me, anyways, I think for all of us, is we come in and we basically play it like it's a show.
Yeah.
Like I'm even jumping around because if I
Yep.
can't play jumping around, then I can't jump around on stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It's definitely us coming in and just playing a show front to back.
Hell yeah.
and then if it sucks, we do it again.
Yeah. Right on.
Like writing's obviously different. Working on
Yeah.
new things is like very different. It's kind of a case of digging things apart. But for the most part, anyways, it's a case of kind of just playing through what we've decided our set for the next run of shows is going to be front to back. and
Right.
If there's any issues or problem areas, working on them.
Right. So I'm gonna close with one more question, and you guys feel free to say no to this. But after this show, when you guys rehearse, is it okay? Can we stick around for like 5-10 minutes and just kind of hear you guys rock it out a little bit live?
yeah,
Would you mind?
sure.
I would
that's
love
cool.
to see it, man. I never I love that.
It's going to be loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Louder
Yeah,
the better.
We played through duo cabs. Well, I didn't bring my other cab today. We played through duo cabs, and it's a tiny room. So
Hell yeah. I'll just prop in the corner. I'll be a little legit fly on the wall, dude.
Yeah.
I would
totally
love
welcome
to see it.
I have my earplugs, so.
oh yeah, you're set.
I would
Oh.
use them.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Didn't
well,
bring mine.
with that, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you for listening. These guys are GreenWing. check them out in the link below. Follow their social medias. We'll have all that stuff in the post.
And there are new favorites.
Yeah. We say that
you
about
say
all
that
our
to every
guests, but
band.
this time we really mean it. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to come just hang out with you guys tonight, man. I truly appreciate it. Like,
Thanks for
I
making the
can't even
drive.
Yeah, thank you so
express
much for,
how
for
much
coming out.
I honestly appreciate this, dude. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, thank you so
I
much.
love it. Great. Thanks, guys.
It was easy.
Cool. Right? Easy breezy. Did we miss anything? Is there anything that you guys wanted to like?
Yes.
Yes!